Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Listen, we gotta talk. If you guys don't know, sorry, y'all. I know I did a live and then my camera died. Listen, we gotta talk. How y'all doing today? We gotta talk about what's going on with Sean Diddy Combs, and there is a secret new case filed. Actually, it was filed, but the media hasn't even picked up on it. We're not talking about that 10-year-old mess. And by 10-year-old mess, I mean there is mess in a 10-year-old at the subject of Diddy. We already covered that in an earlier video. I know the media has been talking about this. We are talking about a new lawsuit that was quietly filed by Tony Busby, an unnamed John Doe, and they are making up the band, and they were 17. I repeat, 17 when Diddy did this to them. He did this on camera. There were people around. Nobody cared. Diddy didn't get caught. It was an absolute entire mess. And when I say absolute entire mess, it was an absolute entire mess. On top of that, we're going to discuss a few other things in this live. If y'all can't stay for the whole live, I'm going to chop the topics up. We're going to talk about Quincy and Kimora Lee Simmons and the whole Diddy clan running interference for Diddy. No, the grown men's sons and his daughters who are about to turn 18 in, I think, December 21st should not be held accountable. But at a certain point, we have to ask, but what, if you keep coming into the fray and keep doing these things to try to rehab these man's image, what do you expect us to do? You live your life. But even when Bernie Madoff defrauded everybody, even with El Chapo, Jeffrey Epstein, their families knew to lay low. But Diddy's family don't think they got to do that. Diddy's family think they can have their cake and eat it too. It seems like his family is just entitled as he is. We're also going to talk about Shine being called a liar. Baby, we saw that coming. Shine is a politician to his heart, and we do not think that is we do not think that is a compliment. On top of that, we are going to discuss the gag order that Diddy got slapped with. He went to court thinking he was going to run the feds. There were a few things that were actually posted that was misleading. The judge actually slapped Diddy with a whole gag order. It's actually pretty smart. So where do you guys want to start? Because we got, also, we do have the full legal documents for the 10-year-old that's also suing. We did a video based off of the article by Cheyenne Roundtree and Nancy Dillon in the Rolling Stones, but we actually found the whole lawsuit. So with no further ado, we're going to get into the making of the band lawsuit. And y'all, if you can't stick around for the whole live, it don't matter. I'm going to chop this up into a million videos so y'all can actually digest it at your leisure. Okay, so listen, this is what you guys are the first people hearing this. No media has picked up on this yet. This lawsuit was quietly filed, and it has to do with, of course, making of the band. Okay, 17-year-old essayed, caught on camera. Nobody did a thing. Oddly enough, Diddy said the same disgusting things. I talked about this in the earlier video with the 10-year-old. Y'all, when are we going to start having these conversations? Is Diddy a PDF file? I'm being dead serious, because forget about the SMEX trafficking. Forget about the DB. Forget about the weird maniacal control weirdo behavior. Forget about him training according to that one really pretty girl in soft white underbelly who was just on Adam 22. Forget about all that stuff. Okay? Forget about what she said about Diddy basically training his sons to be his pimps and pick out women and bring women that he likes to them. Forget about all that. Let's talk about the fact of, is Diddy actually a PDF file? And if he is the industry, his business associates and his friends going to stand up and do what's right? I know a million people make excuses. Oh my God, this is just what we do. You know, I know everybody in the rap game and the music game and the acting game is shook because they're like, what Diddy did wasn't illegal. And the feds are like, it was 100% illegal. And now they're worried because they're like, wait, if Diddy was doing illegal stuff and we was doing the same thing as Diddy, right? But the fact that everybody wants to glance over that this is not the first, second, or third time that Diddy has been accused of diddling with the youngins. And with each report, they're getting younger and younger and younger. Diddy has not signed a sworn affidavit saying he didn't do it. They have not pushed back on these claims. They have done nothing except try. Christian at the club, wilding out, pouring liquor down his girlfriend's throat, didn't do anything. So what did they do? They tried. Now they're trotting out the Combs trends. Kamora's helping. Quincy's helping. Remember when Diddy first got her, Kamora started posting pictures of baby love. Now, I'm not saying she don't care. I'm not saying this and that, but they all are in crisis management mode. You know they have lawyers, PR, and crisis manager. At this point, somebody would have to be dumb, stupid, or naive to believe that the Combs twins, that, and again, I could be wrong. This is my opinion. That Kamora Lee Simmons, that Quincy, that Janice Combs, that all these guys are posting these things to remind us we're just a really cool, lovable, beautiful Black family, and our daddy's in trouble. That's what they're doing all this for. I actually don't appreciate it. And the funny thing is, they're basically running the same play that Diddy's running when he's saying, oh my God, you gonna do this to a Black man? I said, a Black man? This ain't a Black man problem, Diddy. This is a you problem. To imply that the sick ish that you've been accused of is part of the Black man culture as a Black woman, I'm gonna call you an MF and liar right now. That don't got nothing to do with our culture at all. And whoever thinks it does, get on out. But they're running that same play that Diddy's running, which makes me to believe that this is under the PR thing. They came out, Aoki, right? Because Aoki be using Instagram too. After that whole yacht girl thing where she was caught with her love of necromongery or whatever she was trying to raise that man from the dead, necrophilia, when she was on the beach tonguing down an 80-year-old man, right? That looked like he was 90. He wasn't even like an in-shape, sexy 80-year-old. He was just like, no, you literally look like somebody's grandpa, right? Nothing wrong with looking like someone's grandpa or being 80 years old. I always say, I will date an 80-year-old man when I'm 102. Anyway, right? When I'm 102, I'll date an 82-year-old man then. But all jokes aside, right? Aoki, she knows how to get the girls going. She is known for, once she realizes she can go viral for getting online and saying dumb shit, she realizes her power and she flexes it. And that's cool because you got to get it how you live it. It's an attention economy. And Aoki realizes that she can get everybody's attention. I'm about to get into legal documents, so let me just finish my point, right? And I'll spice this all up so, it'll just be the legal documents in a different video. But let me just get to my point, right? So Aoki, when she started running interference, y'all leave those kids alone, all right? Not too heavy on my little cousins. They're innocent. And I said, fair enough. Nobody should be harassing any of those children. Let's point, or anybody in the Combs family. But Justin is 30. Quincy is 33. Christian is 26. Y'all ain't children anymore. You guys are grown man under even from a scientific, your frontal lobe has closed up or should have been closed up. I got doubts with Quincy, but your frontal lobe should have closed up around 25. Quincy, we're going to have to do a CAT scan, but it should be closed, right? And I remember sitting there being like, what's the point of this, Aoki? Because in the life, for you to even answer this, what is the point? You ain't want to answer any questions about that old man River that you was kissing up on. You ain't want to answer any questions about but you wanted to answer this. I said, okay, fine. Where are they going with this? Then Janice Combs dropped my son. Then Quincy dropped his, Dad, we love you. We've heard horrible things, right? Then Kamora posted the twins, and I get it. She's proud. They're beautiful. Young people, I get it. But that being an act of love, when you looked at the totality of what people are thinking about Diddy and these horrible, disgusting things that he's been accused of, that he still has not signed a sworn declaration saying that they are lying. He refuses to say that they are lying, right? When you think about, and I don't want to hear like, oh, he was on Tucci for the last 15 years. Baby, Tucci ain't never turned anybody into a PDF file. Just like Tucci ain't never turned anybody into looking at like a dog and thinking they want some love. There's limits to what narcotics can make you do, right? But when that happened and she's posting, I said, How are you trying to put a thing? Don't go too heavy on my cousins while y'all run a PR campaign to get this man on the street again. So, according to the feds, he can intimidate, bribe, coerce, and threaten with violence and blow people's cars up. You can't have it two both ways. You're trying to run a play. You want the sympathy for being like, the sins of the father are not on the child. True. But then the child shouldn't be out front. And the grown men shouldn't be out front trying to rehab the monster's image. If you don't want, you know that old saying they say to football players, Mama, don't send your babies out on the field with these trained killers. If you don't want anything about Diddy to fall back on you, stay off the playing field. Have some class, have some decorum, have some sympathy for the victims. Because we can debate. Are there 140, 150, 160, 2,000, 8,000? Are there 8? Are there 3? It really don't matter. We all know from the thing of probability, everybody can't be lying. Everybody can't be lying. So when you want not to be associated with your father's mess, and we'll give you that grace because that is the grace any child deserves. Now, Christian, Justin, Quincy, according to some of these victims, you was involved in it. But let's just say nobody was, right? Well, not let me take Quincy's name out of this, but these are the accusations, right? But we'll extend that grace because the sins of the father shall not fall on the child. But you can't take that grace and run interference for your dad and run it so sloppily. We already know what time Kimora Lee Simmons is on. I don't care how much everybody says, oh my God, that was Kim Porter's best friend. I'm sure it was. And she loves Jesse and Delilah. I'm sure she does. I'm sure she loves everybody in her circle. But this is the problem with the women that dated and married these men. Her ex-husband, Russell Simmons, he's in Bali right now doing standing dog off of a turtle, looking like a perverted, melted Franklin the turtle. Literally, y'all see that? Did y'all see that little happy birthday thing? Looking like a melting Franklin the turtle, right? But make it Cinemax after dark. And when all this happened, and all these women wanted justice, and he got out, you were defending him. You said he was innocent. You said, I believe all victims. Kamora's a master at talking out the side of her mouth. At the end of the day, I kind of feel like every woman in the industry, because they saw the crazy stuff, they have their own thing of like, what's that bad and what's not that bad. You see what I'm saying? Listen, I just wanted to actually say that. And I will get into the lawsuit because I'm sick of it. You can't have it both ways. Have some coof. Have some decor. Read the MF room. There are lawsuits about your father and a 10-year-old, and you decide to come out looking very, very beautiful for homecoming pics. Do y'all really honestly think that wasn't interference? You really think Diddy don't have a top grade crisis team right now, PR crisis team, telling them and looking over what to post, when to post, and how to post? Y'all really think that's not happening? I guarantee you it is. And it makes me really sick and disgusting that you can't have it both ways. Stay off the playing field. Stay away from the trained killers that are the press. Because, all I gotta say is, yeah, especially when it comes to older boys, literally, see what you're gonna find. Keep pushing your luck. See what you're gonna find. I'm just saying. Let's see who's the next to get served. Anyway, y'all, let's get into the lawsuit. I'm going to chop this up. I'll even make a timestamp because I care about y'all so much. Okay, so this is at this point Diddy's 17th, 20th lawsuit from Tony Busby. I stopped taking count. This is the first that anybody's ever going to hear about this. It is a Busby special. If you want to know what a Busby special is, he has the same parties, the same forum. This actually will be in California. No, I'm sorry. This is the Supreme Court in the state of New York, county of New York. So this is in New York. Otherwise than that is the exact same businesses, forums, and whatnot. So that means Justin and Janice Combs' names are all up. And through this, they go through Diddy's history of being sued. Diddy wants a gag order on the attorneys that bring up the fact that everybody and their mama, including the federal government. And last thing I'm going to say about the Kimora Lee stuff and the Quincy stuff, and all the kids' stuff. like the fact that the federal government got involved and y'all really trying to make us believe that the federal government is on a witch hunt to take down a black billionaire, and not the fact that there is a very real chance that your father is, if these accusations are true, and Diddy has said he's innocent, is a real life PDF file that will sleep with Tom, Dick, Harry, little Tom, baby Harry, and on top of I'm waiting for them to talk about that there's going to be a dog involved. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get into this. The parties are the same and whatnot. Let's just get straight into the factual allegations. This is through making of the band. All jokes aside, I believe this is the 15th or 16th lawsuit that Tony Busby not only filed, but he promised to file. As much as Kimora wanted to be like the kids are innocent, Christian, I believe, still is facing an open grape case. Justin is looking to be served any day now. Quincy seems to be out of it. We'll wait and see. Jesse and Delilah will be 18 on December 21st. Please do not go into anybody's comments or say anything. But at the end of the day, the Combs family needs to have a little bit of decorum. Be more quiet. You're doing this. It's not interesting to it did not escape my attention that you posted those pictures of the girls and came out and supported and rah 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 because Diddy taught them how to deflect. They know this very well. And there's a PR thing that when the stuff about a 10-year-old comes out, y'all all out there and y'all knew it was coming out because Busby notified them. Busby was in settlement talks with them, I'm assuming. Busby approached them with that. They knew it was going to be filed. They knew it was going to happen. Lawyers give deadlines for when they're going to file stuff. So they knew when it was going to hit the dockets. And the fact that Kimora, Quincy, and all that shit did that, knowing this was there, it makes it look like if Diddy is convicted of anything, any of this, or if he has to pay, we are owed an apology. But again, y'all need to be quiet. Okay, so anyway, factual allegations. Making the Band was a reality television series that aired on various networks, including MTV from 2000 to 2009. Oh, what a time to be alive. The show, created by Lou Pearlman and later produced by Diddy, followed the formation of musical groups through a competitive audition process. Aspiring singers and performers competed for a spot in a new music group with the ultimate goal of signing a record deal and achieving fame. The show combined elements of traditional talent competitions with the drama of reality TV as participants lived together and faced eliminations based on their progress. Through the series, contestants underwent rigorous challenges, including vocal and dance training, live performances, and personal development tasks. Often under the scrutiny of industry professionals like Diddy. I love the way they said personal. This is the actual court documents, right? By the way, this is the facts section. I love the way they said personal development tasks. Is that what you called forcing them to go to juniors to get Beyonce some cheesecake? I still want to know, what was Beyonce doing there? Were they working on a song? I don't ever remember her and Diddy um having a song together, but none of my business anyway. But I would like Beyonce to be like, no, that's not me. Anyway, in or around, and I'm not saying that Beyonce was ever involved in Diddy or anything like that, but I would like to know what we never knew you were in the hotel. What were you doing there? And they didn't say Destiny's Child, they said it was for Beyonce. Anyway, in and around 2008, plaintiff, then 17 years old, participated in a 3-day audition for Making the Band, having seen the opportunity online and through newspaper advertisements. During the audition process, which was filmed by MTV, Making of the Band, of course, was filmed. Oh my God, you guys, Maggie, hold on really quick. Maggie Battles, thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. Hugs and kisses to you. Oh my God, you guys, thank you. You guys, say thank you to Maggie. She has gifted 10 Tattletales memberships. Thank you so much, Maggie. Also, Trishawn W., shout out to your backup. Thank you for being a member for so long. Said, what's up, Tisa? Good to see you on live again. I think my main YouTube account was blocked from Super Chat for some reason. So I went on ahead and made a backup so I could show support. It's all love. No Diddy. What's up, Trishawn? Thank you so much for showing love. All right, let's get back into this stuff. Okay. Thank y'all so much, you guys. During the audition process, In and around two okay, so he was, 17 years old, participated in a 3-day audition for making the band, having seen the opportunity online and through newspaper advertisements. I find it very odd, and sad actually, that at the end of the day, people Diddy used the camera and everything to get his victims. They said during the audition process, plaintiff advanced to a stage where contestants next individually in private rooms with Diddy, met individually in private rooms with Diddy and his bodyguard. Who was his bodyguard from 2000 to 2009? Roger Bonds. Is that you? Now, I'm not saying Roger Bonds was involved in any crazy mess, but wasn't Roger Bonds Diddy's bodyguard from 2000 2009? Cassie put him in the lawsuit. Okay, let's get into this, right? On the first day of the auditions, during a one-on-one interview, Diddy asked plaintiff hypothetical questions about handling situations involving sexual pressure. Now, let me just say this, right? Because it's very, very, very important to say. Um, all this was filmed allegedly by MTV. They never knew when they were going to get reality TV gold. A lot of people that participated in making the band and even the participation, even the auditions, the people that didn't make it to the band level all said that there were cameras from every angle in their face at all time. So the fact that they would meet privately, one, there were cameras there. People are saying that this was caught on camera. However, if Diddy tries to say it wasn't caught on camera, then it makes like MTV look really, really weird because at the end of the day, you taped everything else. Why would you allow contestants from a 3-day trial to go and meet with Diddy in private rooms without the camera around? What did you think was actually happening? But let's keep going. Okay. So Combs, he's meeting one-on-one. There's cameras around with Diddy and his bodyguard in private rooms. Why would you take your bodyguard into a private room with contestants? You wouldn't think that they would hurt you. They're doing this. And this is before reality TV got crazy. So were you bringing your bodyguard in the room to intimidate them, to lock the door from the inside, to participate? Honestly, what's going on? So he's bringing them into private one-on-one rooms with just him and his bodyguard, and he's asking questions about what you do involving sexual pressure. As Diddy described these scenarios, he began to sexually assault plaintiff by touching plaintiff both over and under his clothing. Who should we call this person? Do we have any more names? We'll call him Hans, okay? He began touching Hans, who was auditioning, both under and over his clothing, including groping and fondling his wee-wee and instructing Hans to undress. While he groped Hans, Diddy engaged in sexually explicit behavior, including touching himself. Again, Tania, that's her name. The girl that was on Adam No Jumper and Soft White Underbelly. Really, really gorgeous girl. I think she used to date YG. She might still date him. Well, no, Sweetie's dating him. Let me not start any mess, right? But she said on the Soft White Underbelly, and she reiterated on Adam 22 that Diddy, so many people that have dealt with Diddy, from Jonathan Adi to Cassie to anyone that's reported, said that Diddy loves to diddle on himself, right? And that he does it at the most inappropriate times. I believe he does it as a power move. Again, everything that's going on seems to be right. Line up with Diddy's escapades, all right? While he groped Hans, Diddy engaged in sexually explicit behavior, including diddling himself. Throughout this encounter, now mind you, his bodyguard's right there in the room watching. Roger Bonds, you got 24 hours to answer. Was that you between 2000 and 2009? Throughout the encounter, Diddy emphasized his power to control Hans's future in the music industry, stating he had the ability to make or break Hans's career. And back then, he did have the ability. On the second day, Hans went through a longer interview process. During this interview, again, this is all on camera, Diddy again instructed Hans to undress, explaining that Hans needed to demonstrate the ability to embody a sex idol persona, which was purportedly required for the band's image. This encounter eventually escalated into Diddy forcing Hans to perform Sloppy Toppy on him. And Diddy also did I don't want to say a meek mill, but Diddy made Hans do a bunny hop. Oh, that sounds too light. Anyway, Diddy sodiumed him. Diddy continued to reiterate his power to control Hans's future in the music industry. On the third day, Diddy introduced his bodyguard, T. Okay, so it wasn't Roger Bonds. Okay, it was sorry, Roger Bonds. You don't gotta you got your hands full. You don't gotta react. On the third day, Diddy now his bodyguard was literally in the room the whole time. Diddy introduced his bodyguard T into the sexual advances. Diddy framed this as a test to Hans's willingness to do anything necessary to succeed in the music industry. T requested sloppy toppy from Hans. Yo, Diddy is so disgusting. He is a demon. And the fact that Kamora Lee, Quincy, and all these people are trying to run interference, yeah. I get it that you truly might believe that their dad's innocent, but Kamora knows that mofo. The kids see him as daddy. Kamora knows that mofo. Diddy's kids, even if you see them as innocent, why wouldn't you just quiet down? You're actively, and this shows the level of Diddy's power and control. He even exercises over his own children. Just like when Quincy was like, oh my God, I'm going to have my own reality show. You still had to put Diddy in it to make it about him because dad's going to be mad if we don't. It's weird. Anyway, right? Yuck. So the bodyguard T requested oral sloppy toppy from Hans, while Hans complied due to force. Diddy SA'd Hans again, simultaneously groping and fondling both Hans and his bodyguard. He literally had a freak off during making of the band auditions. How was Diddy doing all this mess? Did they just pause? They didn't hear the sounds. Here's my whole point. Where were all the people around Diddy? Where was the production crew? Where was the security? The fact that everybody knew this mess was going on and you still was doing it. Okay, let's get back into this. Hans's facial expressions during this ordeal showed his discomfort and hesitation, prompting Diddy to express dissatisfaction. Diddy stated that Hans's demeanor suggested an intention to report the incidents, and as a result, Diddy said he would be keeping an eye on Hans. So Hans is sitting there basically getting a train run on him by Diddy and his bodyguard T. His face is looking like he's not enjoying it. Diddy then said, yo, what's wrong with you? And then said that he's going to, I think you might say something, and said he's going to keep an eye on Hans. Ultimately, this led to Hans's elimination from the competition, as Diddy claimed that Hans was untrustworthy due to his reservations about performing sloppy toppy on his bodyguard. As a result of these assaults during the audition process and Hans's reactions to them, Hans was excluded from further opportunities in the competition and was unable to return to the music industry for 7 years. Now, let's point something else out. We're about to get into the second lawsuit, but let's just talk about this one. It hasn't been reported anywhere else. This is the first. They quietly filed it. We was on the internet being nosy and we saw what was going on. They said Hans couldn't enter the industry for 7 years after that. That was somewhere between 2000 and 2009. That means that Hans has entered the industry. And as late as 2017, 2009 plus 2016, that means that Hans actually is in the music industry. It means it might be someone that we know of. On top of that, Diddy essayed this person, raped them against their will, did industry gatekeeping, messed up his money, did all this stuff And his according to Hans, the bodyguard also did that, and Diddy was passing him around like a party favor. And this is all while the making of the band was filming. They kept going into private rooms. The bodyguard would come in. What did everybody on the scene actually think was going on? I'm sick of Diddy. I'm sick of these people playing stupid. I'm sick of his kids trying to rehab his image. I'm just sick of it. Anyway, um, where is it? Hilarious Homebody said, Hi T said, Diddy's plane was spotted in New Zealand. Why? I'll tell you why. Diddy probably got his plane on NetJets and they're renting it out. Yo, y'all want to hear some really good tea? Y'all want to hear some tea? Or should I save it? I'm going to save it for a separate video because every time I announce tea in my live, 20 minutes later, somebody do a video on it. Anyway, I got some tea on the jet and Diddy's actual properties. And Diddy's actually properties, but I'll put that in a different video. I'll post that tonight, I promise. But let's get through these lawsuits, and then we're going to talk about the Quincy Kimora stuff, and then we're going to talk about Russell Simmons and all this other stuff. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, hilarious homebody. Okay, so this is like what? The 15th Tony Busby special. It has not been assigned. It is John Doe versus Sean Combs. It has not been assigned. Okay. Also, let's actually get into the details of the 10-year-old boy's allegations because everybody with the 10-year-old boy is saying that, oh my God, where were the parents? Let me tell you something. Honestly, where were the parents? But that's something for a different day. The son is old enough now to confront his parents. I don't know what happened with this. My goal is to get, instead of turning our attention to the parents, which 100% maybe, I don't know the situation, but instead of turning our attention to there, why don't we actually try to get this monster or this alleged monster off the street so we don't ever have to ask, where were the parents? Why don't we actually make the entertainment industry safe enough that we can actually send our kids to auditions with managers and not have to worry about Diddy pulling out his GMB and going to work? Again, this one is a little triggering. They're all triggering, but this one is especially disgusting. And it leads me to believe that, like, are we just going to find out that Diddy is a PDF file if any of this is proven true? And I don't mean like, oh, a 16, 17, 18. I mean like, no, when Tania said that she cleared it up on Adam No Jumper, where she said that she saw PDF, she saw little kids running around. Actually, let me actually play what she actually said, because a lot of people were saying that, oh no, when she said little people, she meant like, people that were growth challenged. I don't want to call them the M word because apparently that's very, very offensive to little people. But it's very, very offensive to little people, but a lot of people confuse the little people with what was being said. So where's the Adam No Jumper? I think this is it. Hold on. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Hold on really quick. Let me pull this up. Y'all know I'm always trying to get this going. Where's the Adam No Jumper video? Anyway, if I can't find the video, I'll tell y'all what she said. So anyway, she basically said, she actually clarified. She said, nah, when I said little people, I was talking about kids. She said they were super young. She said they had bobs on. And they were dressed up like little Nicki Minaj, Harajuku girls with bobs. Now, the funny thing about that is I found an old video of Faith Evans, I Remember the Way You Used to Love Me. And I found it odd that in that video, they also used kids dressed grown and dancing very, very grown. And it was always a weird, weird choice. But honestly, at this point, everything Diddy is doing is actually super, super, super weird to me. Okay, let's get in. Oh, wait, here it is. Hold on. Let's do this. Hold on. Let's do the. Hold on. Here we go.
Up out of here. All right, and that's probably the most explosive thing that you said in the Soft Underbelly interview, because a bunch of people fucking doing drugs, who cares? But then you're like saying that there was basically underage people. Now, how underage are we talking? Like, obviously, like teenagers.
I'm not trying to have nobody come looking for me. Little.
I'm just trying to, yeah, because you said little, but you're kind of making it sound like you might be talking about midgets. But it's okay. It's hard to imagine all these
I would have said
people
midgets then.
having this big freak off. It's hard to imagine that there's like kids involved in that. Nobody's going to say anything. That's crazy. That's like hard for us to kind of.
He's too rich. You gotta understand. I looked at it like this. I didn't look at it like, oh, I need to tell somebody. I looked at it like, this is his house. So whatever he do, what can I say? That's like somebody coming to my house saying, I don't like what you got going on in your house.
Now, with all due respect to Tania, when I heard this stuff, I was like, no. If I see you got people in the basement, a la Jeffrey Dahmer and Silence of the Lambs, yeah, I can say a lot. It does strike me as odd that she didn't try to at least report it to the police or say something. I understand why she wouldn't have said it to Diddy, but come on now. But I wasn't there, so let's move on.
They may not like it, but they can't do nothing about it.
So was this the moment when you were like, oh, okay, I'm going to get the fuck out of here? Or were you already like...
I'm kind of confused because they were dressed up as the Harajuku Barbie. So I'm thinking like, oh, maybe it's a production going on.
I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it sounds like some animation or something.
Yeah, some cute little dolls. Like animation. Nicki Minaj talk a lot about the Harajuku Barbies with the bobs and the colorful, look like Asian.
Would you have been interested in participating in this crazy public orgy if it wasn't for... No, but it sounds like fun. Besides, until you mentioned that detail.
In the room, maybe.
But you wouldn't get up and let the prince bang you out on the couch at the...
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And that's what let me know, okay, this party ain't for me, because if they cool with that, I gotta be cool with that too.
Yeah.
So did you tell me to go in the house to see what I think about it? And then they did. So when I seen that, then I heard people screaming, but I'm like, okay, they
because that's the kind of thing that if you were even at that party, if you saw that and you continued, even if you didn't actually engage with these teens,
you know something's wrong with Adam No Jumper is saying, yo, that's too far. She's basically saying that one of the reasons why she didn't participate in the freak off is because it couldn't have been all consenting adults, and she didn't want to be around it. She thought it was disgusting, and she said, that's just not what I'm into. And Adam 22 is like, yeah, because if you're even around that, which is why I think a lot of people in Hollywood are being very quiet, I'm not saying anything about Diddy, is because if you are even around that, you are guilty of by association. Some things you just have to take a stand on. But let's let her finish.
You even being there really puts you in the box of like, oh, you're guilty by association.
Yeah, and guess what? That's why I got the fuck up out of there.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, once you see something, and even when I left, I got back, I'll get to that later, but I ended up calling the police, not on Diddy, on the prince. Like 911 called, I've been, and I have pictures of that. I've been kidnapped by some...
Okay, so Tania has proof she was at the party. I know what you're saying. How did you call the police on the fact that you may have gotten kidnapped, but you saw the youngins and you're like, I'm out of here. But also, I do think that what she said was very interesting, that she said she thinks that that might have been one of the reasons why you got invited from outside into the house, so you could see the crazy ish that was going on, and you had to be down with it. So they were kind of streaming like, yo, you into this? Let's get it. Now we can yell, where were those kids' parents? They weren't there. They were babes along in the woods. My goal is not to sit here and crucify the parents, right? My goal is to get the monster off the street, because as much as Kimora and Quincy and Justin and Christian and all these people want Diddy to be what they want him to be, baby, the truth is saying something else. Also, Too Short 26 said Diddy is a sadistic sexual predator, never needs to get out. Wishing you well, T said. Oh, thank you so much. Too Short 23. Okay, let's get into the next lawsuit. This is the actual 10-year-old's lawsuit. This is the actual 10-year-old's lawsuit. It has a little bit more detail, and it explains in detail why the parents let this happen, or what exactly happened. Okay. Please know, listen, if this triggers you, please guard your sanity. But we actually do need to get into this, because at the end of the day, um, this is the ugly thing. We can't look away from this mess. When we ask how the parents let that happen, I do believe that society should be in charge of helping children, protecting children, and defending children, because it just should. And society should be the stopgap. And I do believe that the rich and powerful, even though in America and even in the 20th century, we've been led to believe that the rich and powerful, because you have all that money, you can be a monster. I actually think with great, um, with great power and with great money comes great responsibility. I hold them at a higher esteem, because you have a larger chance of destroying so many other lives. Anyway, let's get into this. This is another Busby special. He names the same plaintiffs, the parties, I believe. Plaintiffs, parties, all that stuff are pretty much the same. I will say I do believe that this is in junction with this was filed in New York State Court. I don't know why I thought somebody was actually in California, but let's get into this. In 2005, I'm sorry, who this plaintiff should be? Little Jimmy. In 2005, Little Jimmy was a 10-year-old boy interested in becoming an actor and or rapper. Little Jimmy lived in Los Angeles and used his proximity to the entertainment industry to secure several acting roles and a part in a music video. Wait, several acting roles and a part in the music video? Yo, this can't be. Well, remember Crucial Contact? Crucial Contact. Who was a 10-year-old rapper that was in several? Chat, y'all can think about this while I read this. A 10-year-old rapper and actor who secured several acting roles and a part in a music video. To help their son's burgeoning career, Little Jimmy's parents found and hired an industry consultant through an internet ad. The consultant recommended that the family visit New York City to meet with people in the music industry. So they hired a consultant. That means, and it was through an internet ad. Now, before y'all say, oh, how could you be so stupid? Back then, in 2005, if you were on the internet and you had ads, a lot of people thought that you were kind of legit. It was like being on LinkedIn, right? We all know now all the scammers have their own website and stuff. But think about this for a moment while we delve down into the lawsuit. If it was an internet ad saying, I'm going to be a consultant and I can get your child in front of big money people in the room, and the next thing you know, you get them an audition with Sean Diddy Combs, what's that sound like to you? Smex trafficking. What that sounds like to you? Smex funneling. What does that sound like to you? People are putting up ads to say, come to New York. I can get your kid in front of power players, private auditions. The sick part is you paid the consultant. The consultant got paid to do this. You bought your child. The consultant would show Diddy's team a picture of your child and your children's audition tape. Diddy would be like, yeah, I like that. I like that. And then your child, the consultant would be like, hey, we're going to take your child to the audition. You're thinking, well, I'm paying this person. So it's basically like paying a babysitter. And instead, he's delivering your child to the devil. Yo, that's crazy. That's smex trafficking. If they were putting up ads to bring a funnel to satisfy this allegedly sick mofo. Now, there is a chance that this is fake, right? There is. And if there is, I will be the first person to be like, I apologize. I thought this was real. But I will say that in my time, if anybody accuses anybody of being a PDF file, baby, we got to ask questions. We got to dig deeper. There are certain accusations you make at people where I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care we're related by blood. I don't care. If I love you and I respect you, I'll investigate. And you better hope my findings are no, that wasn't me. That wasn't you. They lying. You better hope. If I don't even know you like that and you're a business associate or someone I don't know, baby, you guilty off the bat. I know in the court of, oh, you innocent. No, 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 no. You are guilty until you show me concrete proof that you're not on some weird stuff. That's the way my morals go. That's the way my principles go. There ain't no friendship. There ain't no favor. There is nothing you have done for me, to me, or will do for me or to me that would make me look the other way when somebody brings up serious allegations like this. And as much as people like to say, oh, people always accusing somebody of being a PDF file. No, they're not. That hardly ever happens. In American society, we know that is one of the worst things that you accuse somebody of. Somebody has to be out of their mind, crazy, and something's off with them to accuse somebody of that. Again, if I love you, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and I'll conduct my own investigation. But you better hope that investigation comes back all things negative. So it's weird to me that there are people, they're like, oh, I know him. He's a good man. Did you investigate? Did you even look into it? Or are you just taking his word? Because as far as I know, in the history of me ever being alive, I've never seen a guilty person being like, okay, I did it. Mofos can't even admit they cheated on their husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. I've never seen anybody admit I did it. So why would I believe anyway, let's get into this. Anyway, right? So they found on the internet, sounds like sex trafficking, somebody who funneled this child to Diddy. Little Jimmy and his parents flew to New York in or around the summer of 2005 and stayed in a hotel across from Madison Square Garden. Is that the Hyatt? The Hilton? What's the hotel across the street? Don't tell me it's Hotel New York. No, I don't think it's across from Madison. What hotel is that? We'll get back to this, right? While in New York, and they spent their own money on this too. While in New York, little Jimmy and his parents met with numerous people within the music industry. So that means that all these people were part of this elaborate ruse. Little Jimmy participated in a photo shoot for a magazine as well. Wow. So they did a photo shoot for the magazine. That means this was all set up. That means that they would dangle the fact that they could plug the kid in and make him a star. During the trip, and I think in my mind, I would think that would make everything more legit. You know, like, oh, well, they're making him a star. This ain't any weird stuff. But then again, I still wouldn't know. Well, let me shut up. During the trip, little Jimmy's consultant arranged a meeting with Sean Diddy Combs for an audition. Diddy indicated that he wanted to meet with little Jimmy alone first prior to meeting the family. Now, that's wild. I don't know if I would let my child, cousin, niece, nephew, anything go into a room with an adult alone. However, the world's a sick place. And I feel like if you haven't been exposed to that sickness, maybe you might trust. Remember when a lot of people said, I'm too rich to do this. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing that. I don't know. That's weird. But they did it. And maybe that's weird. You wanted to meet with alone. What excuse would you say? You want to see how he holds up under pressure? Like, what excuse could you give a parent? Because I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm still going to be in the corner. Or you're going to have to be in a room with a double-sided room. I need to be somewhere where I'm at least monitoring. Even if I don't think you're going to mess with my kid, what if you said something mean to them? What if you destroyed their self-esteem? What if you humiliated them? What if you made them cry? I will want to be close enough that I could comfort them, Anyway, the consultant, without little Jimmy's parents, took little Jimmy to the purported audition at a hotel in the same general vicinity as little Jimmy's own hotel. Was this a Hyatt? Also, why is there an audition in a hotel? Did he tell them where he was taking them? Why is there an audition in the hotel? I will say this. There has to be proof of him entering into a hotel. There has to be proof of where Diddy was staying. If little Jimmy can tell where Diddy was staying during that time, to me, it's like, how would a 10-year-old know that information of what hotel you're staying at? Especially around that time, Diddy had a place in New York. Diddy, if you listen to Cassie's lawsuit, liked to have freak-offs in hotels, even though he had 2 huge mansions in Star Island. Diddy, even though he had a huge place in the Hamptons, a huge place in Uptown at that time, you chose to stay in a hotel. What does that tell you? I don't know. Put 2 and 2 together. Anyway, right? So he took him to the hotel. The consultant brought little Jimmy to Diddy's room, but left him with Diddy and told little Jimmy that she would be back later. Oh, that's how they got away with it. She will be back later. We all know from Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, but also just every person we hear about sex trafficking and also hustle and flow. It's kind of hard out there for a pimp. We also know from hustle and flow that they often use women. They often use women to make people feel more comfortable. Maybe this is why the parents trusted the consultant, because it was a mother or a woman saying, I'm a mother or I'm a thing. Little Jimmy's safe with me. And people tend to trust women more. You know, the hardest thing to do is to get a mother convicted of murking their children in cold blood, because most juries believe that women might have all these faults, but they're not true killers. So that's how the funnel worked. You had a woman befriend the family and take on a motherly role. So you assume that a woman would not leave a child to be assaulted. Ahmad L, yo, thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. Let's keep continuing. Wow. Little Jimmy recalls other people in the room or area, but he did not know who any of the people were. There were other people in the room when this happened. Little Jimmy performed several rap songs for Diddy. Diddy complimented Little Jimmy on his rapping and told Little Jimmy that he could make him a star. Diddy asked Little Jimmy how badly he wanted to be a star and what Little Jimmy would do to be one. Little Jimmy responded, as might any 10-year-old child, that he would do anything. At this point, one of the other people present gave Little Jimmy a soda. Yo, this was an A minor sexual trafficking ring. We'll talk about Kamora and Quincy in a second. At this point, one of the other people presented Little Jimmy with a soda, which he drank. After drinking the soda, Little Jimmy began to feel a little funny, but initially thought it was because he was so happy at that moment. Based upon information and belief, Diddy, by himself or through his agent's employees, previously laced the drink with drugs, including but not limited to GHB and or E. This behavior towards Little Jimmy mimics a pattern of Diddy and his agents rugging unsuspecting victims in order to make it easier for Diddy to sexually assault that person. Unfortunately, Little Jimmy was one such victim. A photograph of the container that Diddy and his agents used to insert GHB is seen below. Now, after Little Jimmy consumed his soda and began feeling its effects, Diddy told Little Jimmy to move closer to him, which Little Jimmy did. Now, at this point, there were other people in the room. There were other people in the room that helped Jimmy. Just like Tania said, when she went into the freak off, there were little people in Harajuku wigs running around. And by little people, A minors. And she said little, young, right? Young people. And everybody was fine with it. I think actually was going on with that. We'll get back into that in a second. Hold on really quick, right? Sorry, guys. I think what was actually going on, and it needs to be said, I think what was going on and it needs to be said is Diddy wanted to be the rap Epstein. I believe that Diddy supplied anything that people who wanted it would supply. I also believe that Diddy has a illegal fetish, evil running through his veins, that it seems like, if you believe these accusations, and I do, paint him as a PDF file. I do believe that I used to always hear, like, Illuminati conspiracy theories about it. Illuminati. We'll get to the lawsuit back in a second. Hold on. Conspiracies. But I believe that in order to curry favor with these people, right? In order to curry favor with these people, in power, and also the people in power placed in power, the actors, the singers, musicians, I believe you had to be into the same thing. I believe, maybe not everybody, but I believe that they only wanted people around them that were into the same thing. Again, when are we going to have a serious discussion in the fact that Diddy, much like R. Kelly, was a PDF file, is a PDF file? It is incurable. You can even medically neuter someone and it still happens. But if this is the case, when are we going to start having a discussion of whose daughter just popped up and said that her father, a depraved lunatic, that people were willing to look the other way because he was messing with somebody else's daughters? But that person's daughter popped up and said that he was also messing with her. Depravity knows no bounds. They know no, and there's something about crossing that PDF file line that it eventually crosses the line into your children, your family. R. Kelly's daughter just actually said that she also was a victim of her father and that people knew. So when are we going to start having a serious conversation over Diddy? You know, there is a trope in America, and I'm only saying because I'm American. I don't know what they do overseas. Maybe it's a trope too. I don't know. Google Translate doesn't do a good job of telling me what the trope is. But you got to think, we have this fantasy in America, and I think it's fueled by the billionaire class, that someone can be two things at one time, a dichotomy, if you will, a splintering, if you will, that doesn't actually exist. See, here's the thing. Habit can be changed. I can get up early if I'm late. I can do it. You can change habit, willpower, positive thinking, motivation. Either you're going to get something or lose something you really want. But character, fetishes, sexual kinks, that doesn't really change. See, I don't believe that you can be a cold-blooded murderer, right? Maybe one time off, but a hitman and still be a loving, emotionally present father. Because the same thing that makes you a talented hitman, your ability to turn emotions off, to get the job done, to not see people as human. Well, I do think that your family will become victim to that too. Maybe not of being murked, but when it's convenient to you, you know how to turn that switch off. You are detached enough from your humanity that you can do the unthinkable. Well, I don't think that a loving, emotionally supportive, involved father could be a gruesome hitman, because if you're emotionally evolved and you have empathy for your family and your wife and children, that switch would be hard to turn off. Or even if you could act like you were, you could turn that switch off what you want. So as your kids became teenagers, as they did things that displeased you, you would turn it off because it's not funny anymore. If your wife flirted with the neighbor or disrespected you or did something that made you feel emasculated, would you turn that switch off to put her in her place? I don't believe that someone can be cruel, calculating, this, that, and a third, that somebody could prey on people. But when it comes to their own family and their children, they have a line they won't cross. I just think that is a fantasy that we got from watching like American Gangster. And that's not the reality ever. And if you talk to the children of these people that are doing these PDF file things, you will often find that if they weren't messed with themselves, they recruited for their PDF parent. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? Anyway, let's get back into little Jimmy's harrowing tale. Okay, so after little Jimmy consumed his soda and began feeling the specks, Diddy told little Jimmy to move closer to him, and little Jimmy did. Diddy then abruptly pushed little Jimmy down and said words to the effect of, "You have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes." Once he pushed little Jimmy down, he pulled out his package and told little Jimmy, this is so sad, to kiss it. When little Jimmy resisted, Diddy nevertheless forced his blank into little Jimmy's blank and proceeded to push in and out. Little Jimmy froze in terror. Around this is just, oh, Around this time, whether from panic or drugs circulating in his system, he lost consciousness. When he woke, he began crying immediately. Little Jimmy's pants were undone, and his nether regions, front and back, hurt very badly. Diddy was still there when he woke up, when little Jimmy woke up. Little Jimmy cried that he wanted to go to his mom and dad. Diddy replied that if little Jimmy told anybody about what had happened, he would hurt his mom and dad badly. When the consultant came back to get him, she noticed that little Jimmy was badly shaken and asked him what was wrong. Little Jimmy told her only that he wanted to go back to his mom and dad. Now, this is new information that just came in. I'm reading this real time. So apparently, if the consultant asked him, yo, what's wrong? And little Jimmy didn't want to say anything, just take me back to my mom and dad. That just means the consultant witnessed, but it also means that maybe the consultant wasn't in on it. Maybe she was someone that also trusted the Diddy team, and she got money from like literally being a talent scout. So maybe she wasn't in it, and maybe that's why the parents trusted her so much, because she wasn't involved. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't even think if all that was going on, she would ask what's wrong. I think she would try to like do the thing. So maybe that's why they trusted her, because she really did think that Diddy was one to be trusted. What's up, YM Droid? YM Droid said, for everyone asking about parents, there are foster kids, kids without parents, and parents with several kids. Keep 95% of the smoke to the predators, please. Yeah, exactly. We're always like, this is what's wrong with, I'm not even joking, American society. We have, and I'm not talking about anybody in the chat, I'm talking about our society as a whole. In an effort to justify the fact that our society on a deep level believes that people with money can do anything they want, we have found a way to do like Matrix level backflips in order to blame everybody except for the people that need to be blamed. Could the parents have done things differently? Absolutely. Do you honestly think that any parent would let their child get raped, rugged and raped? Do you? Maybe there are some, but I don't believe. I think most people love the little ones. I think most people, when they see innocence, they want to protect it. The fact that everybody is doing all these acrobatics in order to justify why you don't want to go and hold the other people accountable, again, I think it's something in society. Since we started idolizing billionaires and millionaires and looking at it, it's like, oh my God, they must be perfect and this and that. A lot of stuff has gone wrong in society. Diddy is emblematic of that. And I actually don't care whether he's Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, or Haitian. Get these monsters out of our community, okay? As part of the Black delegation, other communities are welcome to have them. I say that as a joke. Anybody that said, we'll take Diddy, you going to jail too, because he needs to be out of everybody's community. And we cannot allow a monster to roam free because he happens to look like our brother, uncle, dad, whatever. He can't roam free. That's just it. And if you believe he deserves to, then we need to start looking at you funny too. And anybody that wants to drop in front of the monster, they can get it too. They can get it too. And you probably will, because you're going to be a co-conspirator, but none of my business. Actually, it is. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Anyway, right? So the consultant asked little Jimmy what was wrong. And she said he just wanted to go back to his mom and dad. Upon little Jimmy's return, his parents immediately noticed that he was lethargic and acting differently. Although little Jimmy ultimately told his parents what happened, little Jimmy and his parents were terrified at the potential consequences of reporting to abuse. Now, let's go to the last paragraph. Little Jimmy experienced a significant impact from Diddy's essay of him at an early age. He has suffered and continues to suffer from severe depression and anxiety, which leaves him hopeless and fatigued. When in a situation that reminds him of the incident, he feels a strong sense of panic. Little Jimmy had to be homeschooled because of the behavioral issues that affected his relationships, and many of those issues remain ongoing. He battles fears and night terrors. Whew. In short, he was deprived of a normal childhood and unable to interact with others and live a normal life due to his I can't even read, my eyes are blurry, due to his encounter with Sean Combs, y'all. Ah, this is just getting so sick and so dark. It just is. And the fact that, like, whew, this is getting so sick and so dark. And the fact that people were in the room, saw this happen, the fact that you have people defending this man, the fact that you have people telling us, like, we should mind our business and let the legal system take care of it. The fact that we know as Black people, the legal system can fail us in many, many different ways. The fact that everybody's making excuses, but who really cares about the children? This goes beyond people thinking that groupies deserve it. People looking at adults saying you should have known better. I don't think there's anybody in the world that can look at little Jimmy and say he should have known better. Right? I don't think, and if it is, F them, whatever. There's always a few crazies in a bunch. I know people are looking at the parents, but at the end of the day, that is a different question. We need to talk about the monster that did it, the monster that is running interference, the monster that has his oldest son pleading for him, the monster that got Kamora Leah running interference, the monster that got all these people rallying around him. But who's rallying around little Jimmy? You know, a lot of stuff is said about the lawyers that work on this case, Wigdor, Blackburn, Busby. But at the end of the day, they are really doing the work to try to slay these monsters. And I don't care about Diddy. I don't care about his music. I don't care about the industry parties. I was never involved in that stuff. And I'm not saying that as a moral flex. But for the will of God, you know, but for the will of God, any of us, had we just unfortunately moved into a different circle or whatever, could have floated into that mess too. Diddy is a monster and he needs to be taken off the street. I'm actually very, very disgusted by this last lawsuit. You rugged a yeah. Anyway, Lord Racer, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. You said these celebrities are not your idols. Exactly. Nobody should have. We're going to get into like some other Diddy stuff, but let me just say this. At this point, nobody should have an idol. And again, the fact that people, because somebody sings a song they like or does a two-step or acts in a movie they like, we don't know these people. Again, I will stand firm on this. If I love you and you have been a valued member of my life, somebody comes with some weirdo claims like this, because out of my love for you, I will investigate and see if there's any truth to it. You better hope there's no truth to it. I will investigate. That is the extension I will extend someone I love, care about, that's been there for my family. Right? Little Jimmy said you did A, B, and C. First of all, get out my house. And second of all, I'm going to investigate. But if I don't know you like that, if you are no one to me, if you are somebody with a song, a dance, or just like an associate, baby, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because I get the fact of we'll let the courts decide, but get the F out my face until the courts decide. Get out of my face. Get out of my thing. You are canceled until further notice. I'm sorry. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. And we live in America and we know that people that make these accusations are usually the ones laughed at, maligned, ostracized. Look at the way Diddy ran interference for 20 or 30 years. Do you know what type of network you need to have set up that you feel comfortable slipping something into a baby's drink? And if you're willing to do something with somebody that got 10 candles on their cake, what are you bullying? Like, where's the cutoff? Now, this person got 10 candles on their birthday cake. Where's the cutoff? When they got 9 candles, 8 candles, 7 candles, 5 candles, 4 candles, 3 candles, 2 candles, 1 candle. They haven't even gotten their first candle on their cake. If you think that that is not the real face of PDF files, you don't even go on Reddit or whatever, but I am telling you, where there is no cutoff. Most people think that's, oh, you messing with 16. They not go, no. They keep going younger and younger and younger and younger and younger. Where is the cutoff? Who will stand with the side of right? I understand why Diddy's children's doing it. Y'all used to being kids of billionaires. Y'all was raised by this monster, so you're probably brainwashed. Your kids are billionaires. You want to be restored to your social class. You don't understand why this is happening. That's their reasons for doing it. You're convinced you love this person. You know? Why is Kimora doing this? I don't know. I mean, I do know. She is comfortable being around people that have questionable accusations. She's comfortable defending people that has questionable accusations. Look what she did with Russell Simmons. Right? Aoki was, for all her saying not too heavy on my little cousins, she was the main person, one of the main people going in on the people accusing her, that saying he innocent, he's this and that. I get it. It's your daddy, but I don't think that we should take these people as any type of moral authority, because their morals are to do what they believe and protect those they love. They care about their circle, and we need to care about ours. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get into the next thing. Also, Ebony Smith, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Woo, LS said, I feel you, girl. He's disgusting. Sorry, that last paragraph when it talked about his life and what he's been through, I'm sorry, that was too much. Listen, that was too much. Exactly. Love, Wisdom, Freedom said before Pew hits is a PDF file. Also, P said, now I'm wondering, did he did he get his girl? There's no cutoff. Yeah, listen, I'm not implying in any way that Diddy diddled with his family. I am saying literally that oftentimes when you look at people that have been convicted of messing with the neighbor kid, messing with this, messing with that, 10 years later, their kids come out and say that they also were victims. I'm just saying, look at R. Kelly's daughter. Go look at her interview, right? It's shocking. It's disgusting. It's brutal, but it also tracks with what we know about PDF files. For some reason, once you cross that boundary, what the hell is incest? I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get into the next thing. I'm going to do timestamps for everybody and chop this up. Don't worry, y'all. I'll cut out the part of me being moved to tears, reading some, me being moved to tears, literally reading some, whatever. Whew. Okay, let's move on to make my tummy hurt. Let's move on to the next thing, okay? Shall we? All right. What do we have next on the docket? Okay. We have, let's move on. We move past that. We move past that. Oh, we move past the 10-year-old boy and being sued. Oh, you guys, I know this is like a little heavy, but, and this is bad timing, but I got to say this. You guys, on November 4th, first of all, I want to encourage everyone. I do not care who you vote for. As a woman, I'm going to vote with the person that I believe represents my body, my freedom. And also as a Black woman, I'm going to vote for someone that I feel will make things a better place in the world, just not for myself, but for also the people I love. I do not care how anybody votes. I am saying that when it comes to, I believe, November 4th, please make sure to vote. Bring your friends, make a party out of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you think your vote is going to make a difference or not. This is all, just please get out and vote. Make your voice heard, no matter who you actually plan on voting for. This issue, it doesn't even matter who you're voting for. You need to get out and vote. And when you do vote, I mean, I hope we voting for the same person. Anyway, also on November 4th, To start your morning off right while you're getting dressed to go vote, I will be on Jokes and Jams 107.1 FM. It will be Jokes and Jams with Spanky, Mahogany, Hype Panda, and also Hype Panda, and also let me just get this gentleman's name. I don't want to get it wrong because y'all know I will mispronounce a name. I'm probably still going to mispronounce this, but it is what it is. It is going to, Wildcat in the moves. It's going to be Spanky, Hype Panda, Mahogany, me, and Wildcat. We are going to be on from 7 to I think 8 or 8:30 in the morning. I'll probably be on there early. Tattletales, come out and support. It's going to be on 107.1 FM Vegas's premier Moni show. Our first guest will be Soul Track's Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Melissa Morgan. She is the Soundtrack's Lifetime Achievement Award winner. We're also going to have comedian Honest John and also performing artist Alan Edge. So make sure you join us in the morning while you getting dressed to go and vote. I'll have a link in my bio on my YouTube page. And you know I'm going to keep hounding y'all to remember this until it actually passes. Come out and support. All right. Listen, we got to actually talk about this. Let's talk about something lighthearted and Diddy's degenerate self. Kimberly, thank you so much for the super chat. Kimberly said, so sorry you have to read these reports. Thank you for keeping us abreast of the issues. Kimberly, thank you so much, Miss Porter, for the super chat. And y'all know I love getting on top of it, but for some reason, they all hurt. But now that we're getting into younger and younger and younger, it really does just make me, yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, Kimberly. I appreciate it. But y'all know I wouldn't miss this for the world. And I don't mean to sound like it is an enjoyable thing. I really mean like, no, I wouldn't miss this for the world because not on my watch. You're not doing some PR rehab on my watch. So what's going on the watch? Let's talk about Diddy and his insane legal defense. So listen. Diddy got hit with a gag order. We'll talk about that in a second. So what are they doing? Because they can't leak the TMZ, because they can't do anything, because they tried to get the feds with a gag order, but the judge hit them with a reverse Uno card. We'll talk about that in a second. So what's their newest thing they're doing? Because they can't actually talk about they can't actually talk to TMZ anymore and release stuff about what's going on in the case. Well, guess what? Diddy is now they now release the fact in TMZ that Diddy's federal jail target of interagency operation to improve conditions for a safe environment. Listen, I get it. Diddy's team wants us to believe that his life is in jeopardy when at the end of the day, he is the mofo. And actually, if these reports of the A minors actually being diddled with are true, baby, we saw Oz season 1 with Adabisi. We know PDF files do not fare well in jail. We know it. Diddy's team knows it, baby. Diddy about to, baby, see what you're going to find, baby. Push your luck. Listen. So they're releasing these things to try to make his prison look like it's horrid. Let me tell you something. First of all, Diddy, for all those people saying, you know, all the other billionaires that were sex trafficking aren't in jail. They were arrested, but they had bail. To which I will just say this: Diddy is in jail not for his charges. He is in jail for obstruction of justice and proving himself to be a danger to the people on outside. Now, he does have a new bail hearing coming up November 4th. We will be covering that, right? We might actually be outside the courthouse. He does have a bail hearing coming up the November 4th. If you guys don't know, his second bail hearing was denied. He then went to appeal to the appellate case. Diddy's team then went on to say, give us more information. We want new documents. We want this and that. The feds were like, okay, we see what you're doing, but sure. They gave them a little more information. Diddy's team, his new lawyers on the money. Again, Diddy's not convicted yet. His new lawyers on the money. And she was like, we have brand new evidence. So because we have brand new evidence, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, the Court of Appeals we ask that you reprimand us back to district court in the Southern District of New York so we can get a third bail hearing because we have new evidence that the court hasn't heard. Now, this new bail hearing will likely be denied, but the fact that they are able even to do that sophisticated legal wrangling actually says a lot about Diddy, what's going on out of this, that, and the third. Again, part of this is now trying to make it seem like his jail that he's staying is unconstitutional. The only thing is, if the jail's unconstitutional, then there are like what? 5,000 inmates in that jail. That means it's unconstitutional to everyone. But Diddy's team aren't worried about everybody. They just want to get Diddy out of here. They said the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, where music mogul Diddy is currently being held as he awaits his SMEX trafficking trial, was subjected to an interagency operation Monday. Feds confirmed to TMZ. Investigators from several federal agencies arrived at the facility early this morning. Now, they're trying to make it seem like Diddy is getting motion because he is trying to cover his face from the humiliation of that gag order he requested on the federal government turning into a reverse Uno. The spokesperson for the Federal Bureau of Prisons tells TMZ the operation at the federal jail is a collaboration between the Federal Bureau of Prisons, the U.S. Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General, and other law enforcement partners as part of intensive efforts to improve conditions at the controversial facility. Now, when I heard that, I giggled because you're trying to improve conditions. All right, cool. But guess what? You still gonna sit there in solitary confinement. And you need to be thankful you're in solitary confinement. Because again, look at Oz, season 1, Ada BC. The only problem is Diddy actually might enjoy it. So I don't know. The rep said the agency's interagency operation was designed to achieve our shared goal of maintaining a safe environment for both our employees and the incarcerated individuals housed at MDC Brooklyn. While the Federal Bureau of Prisons spokesperson confirmed the operation was pre-planned, right? They noted that there was no active threat. Now, why did they actually post this? Because at the end of the day, I believe Diddy's team wants to make things seem like, well, they want to make it seem like Diddy is being maligned. Diddy is being picked on. The feds are framing him. They're also looking for anything because the judge put a gag order on, they're also looking for anything that they can use to imply that the feds are still speaking to the press. I believe that's why TMZ ran the story, to make Diddy and also to make them look like Diddy's getting motion. However, this whole operation, right, was already pre-planned. They were already planned. And even the way TMZ is calling it an operation, it's nothing but inspections. This whole inspection was pre-planned because they are trying to make sure that their jails literally respect people's constitutional rights to the best of their ability. Now, I know some of the inmates might be like, what are you talking about? But again, when it comes to Sean Diddy Combs, this has nothing to do with him. Diddy has been screaming. He feels like he's in danger. Diddy has been screaming he hates the food. He wants a private chef. Diddy has been screaming that he's being treated bad. Diddy has been screaming all this stuff. I do want to say that Diddy can keep on screaming into the wind because no one cares, Jan. Nobody cares. I also do want to say that when you look at Diddy and the Tory Lanez coverage, where TMZ actually floated documents that were 100% false, well, not floated documents, but reported on a story that was started by some fluffy blogger that was 100%. And no, the fluffy blogger is not me. Shut up, y'all. TMZ is not above passing out a fake narrative. TMZ is not above doing pay-for-play. TMZ, lawyers sometimes look at things like games. They don't care. It's more about not who's right or wrong, but can I get away with this? Now, this could be for sometimes defense lawyers. This could sometimes be plaintiffs' lawyers. But at the end of the day, TMZ is run by a lawyer. And I do believe that Harvey, sometimes he goes where the wind blows and sometimes they go where the money grows. And at the end of the day, sometimes the money grows very, very far away from where justice, morality, or even common decency is. Again, As you look into this new era with Diddy, please know that his team are throwing everything in the kitchen sink. Diddy got $50 million. You know how we know? Because he was denied bail. Diddy got $50 million to play around with. Do you honestly think people have sold America out? Congressmen have sold Americans out for $150,000, $200,000. Imagine what people would do for actually 50 million and a chance to make their career and get other Diddies to get them to hire. It is something that can change the legacy of your family, truly boost your family from you're a very successful lawyer to you are getting into generational wealth, right? By defending these sickos. So you have to know that Diddy's team will try anything they can to get this man out. That is their job. Okay. Their job is to get Diddy out at all costs, whether he's guilty or not. The prosecution's job is to put Diddy in jail while he's guilty. And let me tell you, no matter what any rappers who used to be popping at the time say, our job as a public is to stay on top of this and monitor them at all times to make sure that justice is being served. Because at the end of the day, who decides what justice is? The public. The public decides what justice is. There was a report also I wanted to talk to you guys about Justin Bieber. That's actually a little bit sad. Let me read this report about Justin Bieber. Yes, we are doing the Diddy countdown, but let me read this report about Justin Bieber because a model actually had something to say about what happened with Justin Bieber. Where are we at? Oh, yeah, Justin Bieber's lawsuit. I actually thought this was really, really sad. They said there's fresh fears for Justin Bieber. You know, Justin Bieber, they said, are suing Lou Taylor and Tri-State, saying that he's not going broke, but he doesn't have nearly as much money as he thinks he is. I mean, at the end of the day, Justin dealt with substance abuse problems for it looked like better part of a decade. There are rumors that he was taking advantage in many ways with the industry. Some people even think Diddy took advantage of him. Lou Taylor, super tight with Diddy, super tight with the Kardashians. I believe Lou Taylor is even doing accountant, or some people closer are doing accounting for Cardi B. I mean, do with that what you will. I'm not saying Cardi's involved in this at all. I'm saying that anybody that has Lou Taylor and TriStar's name around it, I would be giving them like Lou Taylor's office aside. I'm not working with them. But anyway, they said fresh fears for Justin Bieber. Model who partied with Diddy claims singer wasn't protected from alleged blank beast as a teen. A Playboy model. Let's not forget that Diddy was always at the Hugh Hefner's parties doing his thing. He hosted, I believe, a Christmas party at the Playboy Mansion. Diddy learned from the best. That's probably why he thought he was going to get away with this, because he saw Hugh Hefner doing that mess, right? They said a Playboy model has claimed that Justin Bieber wasn't protected enough from jailed Sean Diddy Combs as he awaits trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges in jail. Radar Online can reveal the following arrest of the disgraced music producer. Hold on really quick, y'all. The following arrest of disgraced music producer, Diddy, I believe it was. The following arrest of the disgraced music producer, and fans have been worried about Justin's health after videos and photos resurfaced of the two spending time together. They said Precious Muir, a former Playboy model, that's this woman right here on the screen. Let's put Miss Precious on the Summer Jam screen. I mean, she looked like Diddy's type. I'm sure she knew Diddy liked to party, and you got to tell him no. They said Precious Moore, former Playboy model, spoke out about the duo's relationship and claimed that Justin should have been protected against the disgraced producer. Muir also claimed that Justin's parents, Jeremy and Patty, should have been with him at all times while meeting with Diddy. She said, there is no way that their parents should have left their children with this man by themselves. So that itself should have been in so that itself should have been in there. The parents should have been present. I don't know why parents weren't there and protecting their child. I agree to that. On top of that, remember they did that weird thing where they gave Diddy got temporary custody of Usher and Justin Bieber for like 24 or 48 hours while they were in boot camp, training camp. And Justin, there's all these parties of Justin being out of his mind at Diddy's parties. I remember seeing a video of Selena Gomez leaving one of Diddy's parties and walking in the walls and stuff, looking like she was 2 seats to the wind. And Selena Gomez actually filmed one of her music videos in Diddy's giant bed at his house. We all know that Justin and Selena were on that stuff, doing that mess. But let's keep going. Precious Muir, is that her name? Yeah, Precious Muir, the model added during the interview with the US Mirror, nobody around Diddy is going to say, no, you can't do that. Well, that was evidenced by Little Timmy's lawsuit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go check the other videos. In the live, we talked about Little Timmy's lawsuit. Nobody's going to say, no, you can't do that. So you need to be there to protect your child. It's very strange to me that the parents dropped them off at this camp and picked them up whenever he decided it was time for them to go home or whatever the case may be. After a list of ongoing accusations were made, videos and photos of teenage Justin Bieber and Diddy alone resurfaced. One video in question is Bieber's 48 hours with Diddy when he was just 15 years old. A fan wrote in the comment section, poor kid, man, he still had light in his eyes. Another added, 48 hours with Diddy sounds like a horror movie. Another person said, justice for Justin. Muir added that even if the parent wasn't able to be present, an adult such as a manager should have been by the teen's side. Now, oddly enough, his manager, Scooter Braun, actually gave him to Justin. So for Justin to enter the U.S. alone, he had to be with an adult companion, chaperone, guardian. The mom made Scooter Braun the guardian. Scooter Braun then made Diddy the guardian. Let's not forget that Justin is not just a minor. He was Canadian, so he was a foreign minor. They wouldn't have let him come overseas without an actual guardian. That was Scooter. On top of that, she said, don't just let some guy who you barely know who's convinced you that it's going to be okay, because he's good at that. Don't let this man convince you that it's okay for him to be hanging out or your young child sleeping over at this grown man's house. In a past interview, this is how Precious knew what she was dealing with. The model opened up about the traumatic experience she had at Diddy's bash. Radar Online previously reported that Precious explained that she felt like she was having a stroke after allegedly being rugged at the bash after taking just one sip of champagne. Do you want to know? Pause. David Dash, pause. Has anybody actually looked at the number of people taken to the hospital after a Diddy bash? Because the funny thing is, Diddy's known for rugging people and doing this and doing that. What I really want to know is, right, who the people that already might have been on something, because Diddy rugged people without their knowledge. What if you already came with something in your system? What if you had an allergic reaction? What if you drank that too much that night? I want to know how many people that went to Diddy's parties left in a body bag or left in a stretcher, or how many people accidentally OD'd. Or was it something that happened to the guy G in Little Rod's lawsuit? If you don't remember Little Rod said that G, G was there and he got shot in the bathroom, but then they tried to say it was a drive-by blocks away, but it wasn't really a drive-by. It was all this stuff. How many people actually OD'd, got sick, or needed hospital help, and they were dumped a few blocks away from Diddy's house? I really do wish somebody could actually do a study, or if the LAPD or Miami PD or the NYPD or the Hamptons PD could actually do a study to see, because it's impossible to me that if somebody's slipping you things without your knowledge, how many people had bad reactions? You know what I'm saying? Really quick, let me just read these super chats and we'll get back into this, right? Let's see. Oh, also, Y Turner 1001 said, thank you for gifting that membership. Thank you, you guys. Say thank you to Y Turner 1001. Nicole Harris said, Tisa, good evening. The animals. Why are we skipping over the animal sacrificing by Diddy? I heard it by several Diddy employees. Where is PETA? Listen, I truly hope the federal government's going to get to the bottom of all this. Gigi Babies, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Nicole Harris, thank you so much for that. I haven't heard about any animal sacrifices, but that said, I am not the all-seeing eye of Horus. Yeah. Again, Diddy was into some sick stuff, and I don't believe for a second that tattoo on his back was the Virgin Mary and Child. I remember when Diddy first started to go down with Cassie, a lot of my Haitian friends and people on the Haitian Twitter were laughing that the tattoo on his back was actually a Haitian saint or god, and her role was to protect the women and children, and she used might and force to do it. And I find it odd that like a year after he got that tattoo, his whole thing come down. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Nicole, Gigi Baby, thank you so much for the super sticker. Also, Precious Ones, thank you so much for the super sticker. Also, why Turner 101 said, when your kids are younger, teach them correct names of their body parts. They will understand when they are compromised, as well as the nicknames of those parts. If you see or hear things, say something. Exactly why Turner 1001. Say something. Say something. ZD said, Teacher, interview Ali Carter. She was passed around as a child at Diddy parties as a party favor. I definitely want to reach out to Ali Carter. I actually found some information that kind of vindicates some of the stuff that she was claiming that people said was a little bit more salacious. I'll make a video about that because it's like really off thing. But yeah, the more Ali talks, as much as people want to say she's a little crazy, as long as the more she talks, the more is being found out that she may actually be telling the truth. But we'll get into that in a different thing. KG said, thank you for the super sticker, KG. And also, why Turner 1001 said, Ali is being careful. They're trying to silence her. Listen. At the end of the day, everybody's not lying on Diddy. Everybody's not lying on Diddy. They're not. And at the end of the day, Diddy is still yet to sign a sworn declaration saying that anybody's lying. That goes for Little Rod from Cassie on down. Anyway, right? So let's get back into what Precious. Precious had previously reported that she felt like she was having a stroke after she was allegedly rugged at the bash after taking just one sip of champagne. After taking just one sip of the beverage, Precious knew something was wrong. She claimed somebody had put something in my drink. I had an immediate reaction to one sip from the beverage. It just had me in a movement where one side of my face was falling. I almost felt like I had a stroke. She says, she says the rapper's lawyers, though, in response to all this, said in court, the truth will prevail. That Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, adult or minor, man or woman. They better hope. They better pray, because right now they looking real strange, which brings me to my next point of action. All right. This is what I really want to talk about, right? Diddy's gag order request. Now, I know we talked about some heavy, dark stuff, but y'all, we got to talk about Diddy's gag order request. It was rejected by the judge amid an ongoing trafficking case. Baby, the judge hit Diddy with a reverse Uno card, and Diddy's team has not recovered. There is officially, they have been put under a gag order. I know Diddy's team is pointing fingers at everybody else, from God, Jesus, the DEA, the patriot, the patriot Haitian saint. They're doing all that stuff, but at the end of the day, the judge said, yeah, y'all can't leak to anybody either. And this is where TMZ is probably like, what? What you mean? Let's get into this, because this is a for real reverse Uno card. And again, I saw what was going on. I saw what was going on, and we reported on it when they were like, oh, Diddy got a stunning victory. And I said it wasn't. It was a big defeat. And Diddy's team is really salty about it. Again, I give it to the new lawyer. She's trying to get motion. Unfortunately, you got Sean Diddy Combs as a client. Let's get into this. Again, we reported it, and now everybody's coming back to say that the judge rejected Sean Diddy Combs' proposal for gag order in the Smex trafficking case. Again, not only did they reject it, but Diddy's team was hit with a gag order. Why is that? Because the federal government is already under certain rules and scruples that are written into federal criminal code. Okay. I know that Diddy's team knows that. Diddy knows that. By them accusing DHS agents of doing this, that was nothing but a thinly veiled, in my opinion, smokescreen, because they were trying to lay the grounds for there either to be a mistrial, or if there's no mistrial, for the judge's ruling to be overturned. And that's why they were bringing up all these things. They were hoping this new judge, because he's so young, wouldn't realize the game. The only thing is, this judge is young. He doesn't have that many cases under his belt, but the people that have been in front of the jail said, in front of the judge, says this judge is on the money, right? So they tried to run some old school lawyer game, saying, "Oh, we'll just start complaining now, nipping at the judge's heels. The judge won't think about anything. And then when Diddy's found guilty, we'll try to get this overturned, a la Cosby, a la Weinstein." And the judge said, "You better sit your butt down. It's just not happening." Let's get into this. A New York judge rejected Sean Diddy Combs' gag order proposal to prevent government officials from leaking information to the media as he remains behind bars on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, right? However, right, he rejected Diddy's request. Then listen to page 6. But nevertheless adopted a gag order similar to that requested by Diddy. It was not similar. Diddy said, "We want to be able to say whatever we want, and we want access to the federal government's phone records, and we believe the federal government is this, that, and the third, and we want a gag order placed on them, and we want a witness list so we can cross off witnesses, and we want that video thrown out. The judge, and we want you to find that a Department of Homeland Security is leaking information." And the judge said, "One, we see no evidence of any of it. And if this agent actually exists, we want to remind the prosecution that you're under federal law to keep it cute and keep it professional." Right? I want to refresh. I want to remind. And then he turned around and said, "But to Diddy's team, you guys are under a gag order." See, the federal government is mandated by law that they cannot talk. And I'm going to tell them to keep it cute. But you, Diddy, you guys think you're really going to run game. He literally said that Diddy's team is not allowed to talk to the press, not allowed to talk to the grand jury. They're not allowed to do anything or try to or leak information about where the grand jury is going, what the grand jury is talking to, or any findings, whether it's about witnesses, whether it's about what was discussed, whether about anything. They are not allowed to discuss it with any media outlets, and nothing that they do is allowed to show up. And if it is, there will be sanctions. They will be, but there's going to be all this stuff. Again, for them to say adopted a gag order similar to what Diddy requested, the only thing similar is the judge, Diddy said, "I want the federal government to do A, B, and C." And the judge erased the federal government's name and wrote in Diddy. So it's similar, but it's a reverse Uno, because the gag order you were trying to get under the government is going to you. And in doing that, the judge took away Diddy's power to run a PR offensive. Do y'all find it funny that when this reverse Uno card took over, now you got Kimora, now you got Quincy, now you got all these people running game, posting pictures of the twins. The twins been doing stuff. But anyway, let's keep getting into this, right? And what's Diddy going to do when his youngest finally turned 18? We still going to talk about think about the children. The only children is baby love. Anyway, right? On Friday, Judge Arun Subramanian, is that how you say his name? Responded to the request filed by the disgraced rapper's legal team. Although he refused, again, listen to the way the media is playing in our face. Oh, it's very similar to Diddy's team. Is that why the judge refused to adopt the order proposed by Diddy's team? Instead insisting that federal agents, which he said, you guys are mandated to do this, investigators, mind you, the investigators are on Homeland Security investigators, but that's not the investigators he was talking about. Because remember when Tinny Garagos or whatever, went on and said that Diddy's team is running their own concurrent investigations along with the grand jury because they want to find out who the victims are and they want to find out what's going on. Remember when they said they're running their own investigation? What investigators do you think the judge was talking about? He said investigators and the rapper's team must follow the laws forbidding them from leaking grand jury proceedings that can meddle with a fair trial. All right, Diddy. All right, Diddy. Did Diddy Dum Dum do it? Yes, he did. He said, to be clear, this order isn't based on a finding that there has been any wrongdoing thus far. He was talking about the federal government. He said, I have not found that the federal government did anything wrong, as the court has made no findings relating to Diddy's allegations that information related to the case has been leaked. The point of this order is to help ensure that nothing happens from now on that would interfere with a fair trial. The court will take appropriate action for any violation of the rules. Again, Diddy's team has refused to comment because they weren't planning on being hit with that reverse Uno card, right? This ruling comes after Diddy's attorneys accused the feds of leaking security footage of him abusing ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura to the press earlier. Documents obtained by Page Six revealed that Diddy's team alleged earlier this month that government agents gave the video to CNN in May in a bid to mortally wound the reputation and the prospect of Diddy successfully defending himself against these allegations. You know, I will always say this, and I cannot stop saying this enough. The nerve of Diddy, the nerve that you say that someone posting a video about what actually happened when you spent the better half of a year convincing us that Cassie was a low liar and people were lying on you, that you now say that that mortally injures your ability to have a fair trial because people actually know the truth. Let that sink in. Let it sink in. And while legally it's an accurate statement, morally it shows you what type of time Diddy's on and what type of time the people that defend Diddy on. They said rather than using the videotape as trial evidence alongside other evidence that gives it context and meaning, agents misused it in the most prejudicial and damaging way possible. Listen to what Diddy's team were. They all think we're stupid. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people are acting like they're stupid. Rather than using the videotape as trial evidence alongside other evidence that gives it context and meaning, what context and meaning could be given to that tape besides us hearing that 5 minutes before Diddy had discovered that Cassie had murdered his whole family? Besides that context and meaning, in what world is you hitting or beating not just a woman, but anybody like that? Especially someone that you had a context and meaning. What's the context and meaning? Cassie was cheating on me. She was with the trainer. That's the context and meaning. Okay. Anyway, the gruesome video showed Diddy kicking, pulling, and dragging Cassie, whom he dated on and off from 2007 to 2018 at the Intercontinental Hotel. But see, here's the thing. If Diddy had just kept his mouth shut, it wouldn't have been so damaging. See, here's the problem. This is where I think things got damaging, because I will always say this. I don't think that many people actually, also, if you guys can hit the like button, I really appreciate that. I'm trying to grow. I don't think that many people, well, I think there's a healthy portion of people that really don't care about domestic violence. I truly believe that. I think they really don't care about domestic violence. I think that they always find an excuse to blame the victim. I think that it doesn't bother them. I think that they're like, well, it's not going to be me. I don't care how you treat other people. It's not going to be me. That wasn't really, and I think there's a bunch of people in the music industry and a bunch of glazers, D-writers, and people desperate for money, clout, attention, clip, whatever, that will find a way to excuse that behavior. Remember when people started that dumb lie that Cassie stole $100K from Diddy and that's why he did that? Please. But I will say this. The problem wasn't the fact, the big problem, the fatal error wasn't the fact that Cassie had done that and Diddy had done that to Cassie. The issue was that Diddy had been, before the video was released, had everybody thinking Cassie was a liar. He lied to everyone and was righteous in his anger and had his kids reposting stuff and his friends reposting stuff about how Cassie was a liar. And when we found out that Diddy was not only the actual liar, but a gaslighter with no shame or morals, I think that's what fatally ruined him. But basically, you got caught being a big liar. Like, is that the federal government's problem or is it you for being a liar? Anyway, the feds have denied leaking the clip, telling the judge via letter the government was not in possession of the video before its publication by CNN. There is thus no colorable factual basis for the defendant's claim that the government leaked the video to CNN, let alone that it was leaked in violation of grand jury secrecy. Now, that's an interesting thing, right? Because I always assumed that the government leaked the video. I really honestly did. Do you think Diddy's team is stupid enough that they actually leaked the video because they wanted a reason to say the government? But it just blew up because they didn't know it was going to go that far. That's why Diddy did his apology. I mean, at this point, anything's on the table. I'm being serious. They said Diddy apologized about the disturbing video, which isn't related to his current charges via social media, describing his behavior as effed up. The last night crooner was arrested on September 16th and charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. There are superseding results. Now, it is important to note that the video is not central to his charges. So take that as you will. Take that as you will. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. We almost through. I know this is a Diddy marathon. If you can't stick through, I'm going to cut up all of the video so that you see what's what. Also, Shay Nunn, thank you so much, Shay Nunn. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Ladoa Life and Style, thank you so much. Said you're doing an amazing job on this teacher. Thank you, Ladoa. I appreciate that. And Trishawn W, your backup said, hit that like button because her name is Teacher and hi, my name is Tisa and Gucci think I love them. Hi, my name is Tisa and Gucci think I love them. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Hi, my name is Tisa and Gucci think you love. Okay. Let me get into this, right? Okay, let's get out. Okay, let's get into this, shall we? This is the last thing I want to talk about. So we talk about Diddy's gag order. We talk about all this. We talk, look at this sorry Saka trying to look sorry. Like you really thought that you waking up looking like you just got off a bender with a bloated face and all this stuff with red eyes, looking depraved and tired. You thought, yo, I just want to apologize. That wasn't me. This is how crazy this man's life was. That he thought all he had to do was say sorry and everybody's going to be like, no problem. Anyway, let's get into this, right? Because this is, Funk Master Flesh the Shine. He said, you're a lying bozo about Shine being Diddy's scapegoat. Listen, I've always said this, and I've heard this from plenty of people, that Shine was not a victim. See, here's the thing. Shine was in jail for a while, but he was in jail because Diddy was supposed to pay him off. That's what the rumors were. Shine also, when he could escape, Diddy worked. Now, maybe he is one of the victims. We don't know. But listen. Hold on. Have y'all seen Kyler, the creator's new visuals? He got a new album coming out. He'll never miss. He don't never miss. He literally said, it's really odd future. All them other ninjas whacked out. The biggest out the city after Kenny. That's a fact now. I don't know. I saw his new visuals and his new songs. Tyler don't never miss. He don't never miss. I'm waiting to see what what's his name? Kendrick got planned for the Super Bowl. We know Kendrick don't miss. Yo, I wonder if Kendrick gonna bring out Tyler the Creator. You know what? But Kendrick did say he a selfish ninja. The crown is heavy. He ain't sharing that stage with no one. At least I don't think so. Listen, all jokes aside, guys, let's get into this. Let's just do the funk man. Oh, also, Olivia, thank you so much for becoming a member. And also, Julia Richardson, thank you for becoming the newest Title Talk members. Olivia, okay. And also, Julia, thank you for becoming the newest Title Talk member. Okay, so where do we actually get into this, right? Exactly. Who said it? Shine got paid. Listen, Shine got paid. Okay. Shine got paid for all this mess. At least that's what the streets are saying. Let's see what Funkmaster Flex has to actually say about this. Because first we got to hear about what he said, which I find it very, 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 very funny. Hold on really quick. Shine on Funkmaster Flex. Who would have thought that Funkmaster Flex would be calling Shine out? Let's see, Kanye, Diddy. Let's see who called Shine out. Oh, here we go. We're gonna play this whole thing. They said Funkmaster Flex to Shine, you're a lying bozo about being Diddy's shooting scapegoat. Now, what beef does Funkmaster Flex have with Shine? Can y'all explain this to me? Because I'm really no, I do not believe Funkmaster Flex called out Diddy. They said Shine completely distanced himself from Diddy's past after the bad boy mogul got arrested last month, and it was all one big phony act, according to Funkmaster Flex. The Hot 97 radio vet recently admitted he's been stewing over Shine's claims that he was a fall guy in the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting that sent him to prison for 8 years before being deported to Belize. Shine's currently promoting his upcoming documentary, The Honorable Shine. I actually think that documentary is going to be a, what do you call it? I think it's going to be a way to boost Diddy's appeal. I think they're going to take it easy. We saw DJ Khaled, we saw Russell Simmons, right? Come on now. They gonna do what they can to take it easy. But Funkmaster Flex said Shine is full of it and raked him through the coals on the airways. Funk Flex started his newest rant claiming to have love for Shine, but soon burned down his house using plenty of ether, saying, I don't know what people are talking about. Shine was on the streets. He was a punk. Funk, are you going to talk about Diddy? He said, so all that street talk, you don't ever come my way with that. Puff had to keep people off of you from beating you to death. According to Flex's expertise, Shine pulled out his gun at a nightclub because he was too scared to face the man accosting him. And Diddy, after that's gangster rapper, backdoored his company in order to sign the Bad Boy Records. Flex says Shine signed with Diddy and immediately was forced to eat a platter of knuckle sandwiches courtesy of Biggie's homeboy, Damian D. Rock Butler, for coming into the fold with his nose up high. Shine burst on the scene in 2000, claiming Brooklyn with a vocal draw similar to Biggie's. Who cares? The Honorable Shine features Kevin Lyles, that's Diddy's Buku buddy, and other execs claiming Shine was the hottest rapper free agent at the time, but Flex remembers things differently. He wanted to spit in Shine's face. He says he begged him to play Shine's records. Diddy begged him to play Shine's records at first, and everyone in the doc felt the same way. Shine, okay, let me tell y'all something, right? Let me actually find what DJ what's his name said, because here's what sickens me about these music industry mofos. All the shit going on with Diddy, Funkmaster Flex is on mute. And you want to get on here talking about you wasn't really street, you wasn't really hood. Even Funkmaster, and listen, even Funkmaster Flex's assertion that everybody knows you pulled your gun out because you were scared. But everyone agrees with that. The issue is, why did Diddy pull his gun out? Are you trying to say that you believe that Diddy was protecting Shine because Shine started some mess in the club and Diddy pulled out the gun to solve it? And then things got out of control, but that should still be on Shine theme because Shine's the one that started this. Where's Funkmaster Flex doing this? These industry ninjas are telling on themselves. all the mess going on. This is the only thing you can speak of. You wasn't really street. You wasn't really hood. These people sound like 5-year-olds. Like you literally are 50 plus years old talking about who's street, who's hood. I actually agree with Cam and Mace. You sound ridiculous. Who's claiming the street hood boss when we are 50 years older or more? Have we not grown up? And by your own account, okay, even if Shine pulled his hammer out, Diddy pulled out one too. You got all this beef for Shine, but you don't got ish to say about what's going on with Diddy. You're saying that Shine's a punk, Diddy was protecting you. It's almost like you're taking up for your good friend. How dare you throw Diddy under the table when he did so much for you? You're a lying bozo about being Diddy's shooting scapegoat. So you believe that Diddy was protecting Shine? He protected you. He kept this off of that. Yo, these people, they actually don't care. Why don't they care? I believe it's because they believe that that's the way business was actually done. I believe they think that slipping thing, like, I don't think that they think anything was wrong with what Diddy did. Let's get into his whole thing because I want y'all to hear the. Hold on. Again, I do want to say one thing. What they're doing to Shine is the same thing they did with Dawn. Remember how they had Kalina come out and say, oh, no, no. Now Funk Master Flex is going off on Shine. Let's see. And again, I'm not taking anything against Funk Master Flex. He's a talented DJ, whatever. And he was an icon of that era. But I'm beginning to see like why people, whenever like stars open their mouth about politics, you can speak on what you want. But I feel like when people like, shut up, just because you can make a beat, just because you were the sound of a generation, just because you were the hottest, shut the hell up. Who are you to talk? Like, as if you're some type of authority. Shut up. As if anybody cares. Anyway, let's get into the rant about Shine. I just want y'all to hear this because let's get into this. Also, Flunk Master Flex threatened Shine over Diddy's Fall Guy claims. He said, I'm going to expose you. All right, let's get into this. Do we have hold on. Let's get into this because I really actually don't know. You're going to expose him. All right, cool. Let's get into what he said. Hold on, I'm queuing up the video, y'all. Really quick. Just give me a second. Are they still doing the making of Diddy? They're doing the downfall Diddy, the indictment. All right, here we go. No.
So I want to make sure, because this has been bothering me for weeks. So when somebody tries to say they the scapegoat or defend like they was used, it's been bothering me. And I'm going to keep it up. Sean, I love you, bro. And I know what you've been through. No, I don't. But you're a liar. You're a stone cold faced liar, Sean. First of all, you remember when D-Rock had to beat you up in that studio because you were feeling yourself? You lucky you signed the Bad Boys.
The fact that a 50 going on 60-year-old man is saying, first of all, remember you was at that studio and D-Rock had to beat you up like we are in high school or even college. Is that a flex? Saying that somebody got beat up brutally in the studio? Is this not pretty much confirming the way everybody said that Diddy and his cohorts ran the streets with a violent, oppressive hand? Did you not just prove the point? Let's keep going.
You did not sign the Bad Boys, and he found the big jam on everyone else. They're gonna pound you out like the day they beat you up at that studio. Sean, you can't lie with me around.
Is that a flex? that a man got beat up in a studio over some record industry biz because he came in with his nose in the air and thought he was worthy of respect or didn't bow down and kiss the rings or the tip, depending on what Diddy and his cohorts felt like that day?
And I'm gonna tell you something else, Sean. If you hated Puff so much, when he got the key to the city, you were in the trailer. Sucker. You're a
Yeah, it sounds like he is taking up for Diddy. And let me tell you something, Shine. The fact that he doesn't realize that he's besmirching his legacy by even opening his mouth to even say this. Let me tell you something, Shine. You a sucker. Okay, but yo, I actually thought way higher of Funk Master Flex, but like they said, don't trust no ninja, don't trust no Christian. I'm joking. But like they said, like never make another person like if you do not personally know someone, yeah, sometimes you give them respect that they don't even themselves think they're worth. Let me tell you something, Shine. Um, you're saying since you were saying Diddy did this when you were getting the key to the city, you were right there with them. Okay. I mean, fair point, but it sounds like you're taking up for Diddy.
I can't stand you. You got no guts. You went to jail because you took out your gun. Because you were scared to get punched in the face by some dudes that you knew that were your people that you jerked. You jerked them because you assigned to them first, Sean. Sean, you assigned to those dudes first. I am going to expose you, Sean. Because you're a liar. You could fool your country.
Okay, so hear me out. I do believe Shine's a liar. That doesn't make him not a victim. I do believe that he's putting 20 on 10. That doesn't make Diddy innocent. I also believe that Funkmaster Plex is besmirching his legacy because it looks like he's taking up for Diddy and that he wants to expose Shine in an effort to, he's mad that Shine is dumping on Diddy at his worst time when he needs his friends around him. And he feels like Shine is an opportunist, which both things can be true. All things can be true. Expose Shine, but Flex, this isn't a good look at all. Let's continue. Hold on. What happened? Come on, play.
I'm going to expose you, Sean. You're a liar.
You're a liar. Like they're in third grade.
You could fool your country on who you are. You ain't fooling me.
He hasn't fooled his country.
You had 10 left to do it, but you sound like the notorious B.I.G. and he died. Everybody wanted to spit in your face back then, Sean. Including me.
Pause. Damon Dash. Pause. Why has he got so much hatred for this man? Is this a lover's quarrel? I'm confused. I hate you, Shine. Everybody wants to spit in your face, including me. DJ Flex, is there Funk Flex? Is there some history we don't know about? Why? Because I didn't even think that Funk was actually even that close to Shine. So, and Shine did 10 years in jail for Diddy. So I'm confused. Where's your anger coming from? How did he hurt you? Why do you hate him so much? Where's this coming from? I have questions.
Sounded like bitch. And he's capitalizing off of something. God, Paul, I apologize. I know I said I wasn't going to say something tonight. I'm sorry. Sean, your records were back too.
I'm confused. Are we 3 years old? You was capitalizing off of Biggie, trying to sound like him. This sounds like a 10-year-old arguing in a lunchroom while we all pounding the tables about who got the best freestyle and beef. And you said, I love my hash browns face down on the plate. Can't be late. Yeah, we straight because we getting like you sound like, and then somebody, no, you like it sounds like a juvenile argument. This man is almost 60. And this is what you're contributing to the conversation. This is what you're contributing. Hold on.
Apologize. I know I said I wasn't going to say something tonight. I'm sorry. Sean, your records were back too.
Your records for
Now,
black.
wait till your whack ass documentary come out. Will destroy you. You're a liar. Oh, yeah, the Hulu saying that he was
Okay, so who's the woman laughing in the background? Because I heard your documentary. The fact that everybody in hip hop, I don't want to say everybody, but the fact that all these legends, quote unquote, in hip hop don't understand what's going on. Yo, I see why Kendrick said it's time for the party to die. Like, literally, it's time for this party to die. It's like, it's time. These people that were charged with being idols, role models, legends, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve. This was their mindset. This is the way they think. They thinking about nickels and pennies while the God's wealth is laid out in front of them. It's really, really weird. That girl giggling. I mean, I guess. Oh, I get thing. And then another person. These are the type of brainiacs we dealing with. The other guy, he coming out with a documentary. Do you not turn on the news? Do you read, my ninja? He coming out with a documentary. These are the people that we have. Yo, I will say one thing. It goes to show just because somebody can make a beat or make you move, don't mean that they are smart, intelligent, moral, honest, or even worthy of your admiration or respect. Let's keep going.
saying that he was whatever, and you know, he was the scapegoat and everything else. You're a liar. You couldn't even come through that tunnel. They would have slapped you. You had to come through it with 1,000 goons. You had to try your head because you had no respect for Biggie. That ain't your natural voice. You're a goofball. You went to jail because you were scared.
What y'all think? You know what? At the end of the day, I'm glad he made that video. And I'm glad whoever was giggling in the background was giggling because it wasn't the flex he thought it was. This made him look so made Funkmaster Flex look so stupid, petty, childish, immature, and stuck in the past. The fact that at 50 or 60, you are talking about some shit that happened over 30 years ago, you sounded like Biggie. That ain't your real voice. That ain't this. That ain't, I'm going to prove, I'm going to expose. What you going to expose? Funk, Diddy, people that live in that heyday. Do they understand? Let me get on the thing. Do y'all understand? Nobody gives a rat's hootie patootie. What? Like, what? We're about to have one of the biggest elections, make sure y'all vote, to decide the future of our country. We got a rap Me Too with Diddy being taken down. We got all his associates running scared. We got a 10-year-old A minor. We got 100. And all you talking about is, yeah, you was going to get smacked when you went to the tunnel. That is like somebody, and I'm not joking, trying to clown you because you got beat up in the high school locker room. And we now 55, 60. You closer to death than you are to life. You closer to retirement than you are when you started your first job. You should have been, the wonders of the world should have delighted you, educated you, and given you a sense of peace and knowledge that you are passing on to the younger generation. That's what I expect with aging. That's what I expect with, like, literally. Instead, you clowning someone because they got beat up in the studio. And I'm not taking up for Shine. I'm just saying that Funkmaster Flex sounds an idiot and a fool. You clowning someone because they got beat up in the rap locker room. You clowning someone because you was trying to sound like Biggie. I don't give a damn. Biggie's a weirdo. If we really want to get into it, he was a spousal abuser. He was a woman abuser. And he made 1,000,000 rhymes about effing youngins. Listen to like Biggie stuff. He made 1,000,000 rhymes about raping women's fathers. They're all weirdos, but even if he wasn't, listen, I'm not going to start, like, I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. Even if he wasn't, You sound stupid, Flex. You sound small. You sound petty. You sound like you are stuck in 1995 when we are 2024 trying to make sure that this world survives. And these are the people that are sitting there letting us know what we should be thinking about or not, where you literally thought that making a rant against some ninja you had beef with. Shine is literally a politician in Belize right now. You couldn't even drag him for the way that his parties, the opposite party doesn't F with him. You couldn't even drag him on the way the political opponent, you couldn't drag him on any type of intellectual or grown man, mature. You couldn't like you couldn't drag him on him being like an immoral opportunist. There's so many. I don't even know Shine, and I could have, if I really wanted to get in the gutter, I could have dragged him left, right, and center, and y'all would, and it would have been funny too. But instead, you out here crashing out with whoever is next to you, giggling, and someone being like, "He coming out with a documentary, y'all." Jesus, help these people. Please help, because I ain't got time. Again, these are the people that everybody's saying is going to save us, I guess. Listen. These and you did all this just to protect Diddy. Maybe he didn't know he was protecting Diddy, but baby, that's what it sounds like. Anyway, let's get into this, right? Let me just say thank you really quick, and then we gonna get into the last story, okay? Oh, thank you, Cooks Crates. Thank you so much, Cooks Crates, for the super chat. Also, Blu-ray of Sunshine. What's up, Blue? Said I wanted to thank you for the support. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Blu-ray of Sunshine. Hit the like button on all. You hit the like button on all the videos. Thank you so much. And also, you guys, make sure you follow Blu-ray of Sunshine. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, Trishawn, what's up? Trishawn said, I love when Tisa tells. See what I did there? People to shut up. P.S. I never liked Funk Flex. He always seemed corny to me. Yo, listen, I can understand being on that Brooklyn brawler mess when you in your 20s, even your 30s. But at this point, Funk, you should have grandchildren. And it reminds me of when Jay Prince was out there like trying to like, you should have grandchildren. Actually, let's take Jay Prince out of it. No, for real, let's take him out of it. Funk, you should have grandchildren, and you literally on some rah bully that was embarrassing. That I feel embarrassed for Funk. I feel if that was me, I would have deleted it. But whatever. Cooks Crates, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Y'all make sure that you thank Cooks Crates for the memberships. Dion, thank you so much for becoming a member. And B Crumbs. Oh, also, y'all make sure you give a shout out to B Crumbs. Thank you for gifting the memberships. Y'all make sure you thank all the things. Last thing, right? Uncle Rush. Why is he sitting there? And this is how you know he cheater. You sit up here with your lipo abs. That's why his skin is melting from his abs. He got it looks like he got, to me, it looks like he got lipo abs. It looks like it. And that's why your abs are melting, because you took the fat out, but the skin never tightened up. Oh gosh. These are the people that made a sound for a generation. A bunch of weirdos, sickos, and everything in between. Let's see what perverted Franklin the Turtle got to say. I come to appreciate the daily routines, for instance. I've come to appreciate daily ice baths every morning, daily meditation 2 times a day, daily asana yoga practices. I take time for the gym daily. Well, I guess you do got all the time in the world. You over there stuck in Bali. You can't come to the hubbub of New York. You gotta appreciate the daily routines. You know what this sounds like to me? You bored. You bored. You want to come back to the US, but you really can't, because you don't want to sit for, what is it? They just got to serve you after 20 years. You don't want to sit for what? Deposition, answer questions. You sound bored to me. You've come to appreciate the daily routines. That means you hated it when you first got there. You sunk your money into a Bali yoga retreat. But even with the yoga retreat, there's only so many flies that come to your honey trap, and you want to be able to unleash it in the Big Apple. I've learned to appreciate the excitement. Okay, he's bored of choosing only healthy food that has medicinal properties. Russell, 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 Usul. You, you tell me with that body and that lack of muscle tone, the only thing you eat is healthy foods that have medicinal qualities. Rasul, we know people that eat only healthy food with medicinal qualities. And let me just say, the body responds to when you actually do give it a vegan diet with medicinal qualities, or even like if you eat meat, but you eat the healthiest, and you don't eat for flavor, you eat to fuel yourself, baby, your body be looking like it looks right. Now, I'm not saying you look like He-Man, but it's tight. Skin is supple. It looks a different way. And I mean, even people with Russell's age. And again, Russell's what, 80 years old? Grandpa look okay, right? However, Grandpa, stop doing thirst traps. This is embarrassing. I will say one thing. We see where Aoki get her stunt queen antics from. She is definitely her daddy's daughter. She like a good stunt queen antic, just like her daddy. But hear me out on this, right? Because it's important to say. Russell, stop effing playing. You've learned to appreciate only healthy food that has medicinal properties. Did you just come to appreciate that yesterday morning? Are you only 2 meals into these healthy foods with medicinal properties? Because I know a body powered by hot Cheetos and Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies when I see one. I know a body powered by strawberry, kiwi, Snapple every now and then. I know a body powered by a chicken fried steak meal here and there from Friendly's. Now, maybe you might not have a Friendly's in Thailand, in Bali, but I guarantee you eating some type of Balinese fast food, or you having your chef recreated. Say what you want, Russell. I'm not with the okey doke. I know when somebody has had a cheat meal or 30 and we only 28 days into the calendar month. Shut up. I've learned. That's how you know he a liar. I've learned learn to appreciate the excitement of choosing only healthy food that has medicinal properties. He said he's learned to appreciate it. He must have learned to appreciate it yesterday. And you've learned the excitement, but not the routine, not the habit, not the practice of choosing healthy food with medicinal. Shut up. You literally have a body fueled by Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies. And I don't want to hear nothing else about it. But let's continue with this mess. Let's see. I've learned the excitement of choosing only healthy food that has medicinal properties and avoiding toxic food and people. Russell, how you avoiding toxic people? How you avoiding yourself? I guess this association is real. On top of that, toxic food, baby, that looks like your whole regime. Or maybe he does think that Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies are medicinal. I mean, they do have enough preservatives to last a nuclear war. Maybe he thinks they're going to make him live forever. Oh, no. Anyway, he said of avoiding toxic people and food. Love everyone, but hang with those who lift you up. That's right, because he couldn't stop with some of his pseudo, I'm a good person. You just called people toxic and food toxic, but I love everyone. Russell, shut up. I introduced ideas and practices to my life over the years. Basically, I believe one thing at a time is the easy way. And before you know it, you will begin to build a life of abundance. Is that what you're hoping? You hoping, because that's what Diddy did. He built his life one freak off at a time, and then he had a life of abundant freak offs. But like of everything, you will fall. I'm obviously still a work in progress. You look like a buttercream frosted cake with no preservatives that somebody left out for a few too many hours. And now all the buttercream roses are starting to slide to the left. Slide. Okay, let me stop. Again, he looks good for a grandpa, but I just find him personally repulsive. But also, why are you showing your stretched out lipo abs? If it was natural, fine, but you paid money for this. And now some man, woman, I don't know, I was about to say child, in Bali took this picture of you. Or do you think he has his hands in his pockets because he has like the little, the little clicker, the remote control for the camera? And that's where he's taking the picture. Who took this picture? Who took this picture of him coming out of an infrared sauna and told him that looked good? Who took it? Some island girl that wanted to be on payroll? I want to know who did it, right? Or actually, maybe it's the ops, somebody that hated him, because this is what I do if I wanted to laugh at somebody. But even then, I wouldn't have the courage. I'd be like, no, don't post that. Let's just do a fake. Can you take the t-shirt? Why do you have a t-shirt wrapped around your head and then a hat on? I'm beginning to see those mofos, just like Funkmaster Flex, just like they don't want to grow up. They Toys R Us kids. Russell Simmons still think he that same Russell Simmons that bagged Kamora Lee fresh off the runway and he running stuff with his hat to the back. They just don't want to grow up. Okay. I'm obviously still a work in progress, but I learned to be gentle with myself and to master one thing at a time. Choose one. What's the person you master? Being a super super villain who moved to Bali to practice yoga. Choose one thing to make you grow. Do it until it's habit. Then choose another and another. God will appreciate your efforts and appreciate you, I promise. The fact that Russell really think that we taking advice from him. I've written 5 books, no one cares, on health, happiness, and spirituality. Did any of them chart? I don't think so. Have Diddy repost it, see what happens. God is always reminding me and you that for the matter to be obedient, live up to the promises, and try to remember to walk in the path that's laid out in your heart and scriptures. And then he put cryptotherapy. Okay, so it wasn't sauna, it was cryptotherapy. Y'all listen. We're gonna have to talk about Quincy and Kamora in another video. All I gotta say is God bless whoever gotta lay under that every single night. Cause oof, no. And again, by that, I don't mean the way he looks, I mean the way he thinks. And could you imagine how much talking he does? This man really think he's the second coming. Anyway, let's get into this. Francesca Manning, thank you so much for the super sticker. Trishawn, thank you for joining through your backup. Also, me, Jay said, Tisa, do you think the switch you're speaking of is MK Ultra? Perhaps a lot of people are being controlled that way. Another method of control. Listen, at this point, anything is on the table. Anything is on the table. Anything is on the table. YM Joy said, Franklin the Turtle about to send a cease and desist. Super Christian Me World said, can we get rid of Diddy's sausage and meatballs biblically? I know I'm nasty. Oh, you want to go? Listen, Super Christian Me World said he wants to take this biblical. He said we're going to leave it up to God, not the New Testament feel good. Everything's going to be all right, God. He wants to take this to the old school testament. You're going to learn today, right? See what you're going to find. Push your luck, God. Listen, we're going to leave it in the Old Testament, God's hands, and see what Diddy going to find. Anyway, you guys, listen. Let me get out of here. I got to spice up this live and get your videos going for tomorrow. I'm going to try to be up early to get things going. Thank you, everybody that joined. Life has been lifing, but your girl is going to try to get some full days up tomorrow. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, out of this, that, and the third. Y'all know what it is. All right. I will talk to everybody later. Bye, everybody.